Good news, everyone. Mr. Page here with another MTG Arena video. Today we're going the polar opposite of yesterday's super dirtily video, where we had almost no win conditions, and we're going for some super fast games. We're going evil with mono red. This is a list from the Invitational last week. I just ripped it right off of there. There's not a lot of space to get creative with mono red decks. They all pretty much look the same. You've got your suite of creatures. Standouts here are the Runaway Steam-Kin. Ridiculously good card. It's basically like our Tarmogoyf. Just a 2-mana 4/4 is insane. And one out of the deck. Go back in there. Chainwhirler. Super good against mono white, and it should be good against like the Merfolk style decks I seem to be facing in the queue, which aren't really part of the metagame, but we are seeing them, so hopefully he helps shore those matchups up. You've got the suite of burn spells and light up the stage for card draw, and an experimental frenzy to actually give us some long game strength, the ability to actually win longer games. This can take over from any game state, which is a problem mono red normally faces. You just fall behind and can't win. Now you can get a frenzy out and just chain burn spells and win any game, basically. The big differences people face is like, where do you cut a couple cards? So this version's cut Skewer the Critic. Some people are cutting light up the stage down to 3. I think I like this version. You could also go with the 4th frenzy, but the frenzies do suffer when you get a second one. It really slows you down. You basically miss a whole frenzy turn. Then again, having a second one is good against Mortifies and other enchantment removal, but actually I'm out of wildcards, so I can't even go to a 4 frenzy version. Really desperate on rare wildcards. But that's the game we're playing. Alright, enough Jimmer Jammering. This is a pretty simple deck. We're going for some simple wins. And I think our win rate's not going to be as good, but the fact that the games are going to go 2-3 times as fast might mean this is a better option for grinding away on the events to get cards. Because as you can see, I desperately need more rare wild cards, and just rares in general. So hopefully we can just grind away for a few hours and come out ahead. And I hope you'll join me for the first queue. Let's see if we can get a 7 win. Now, this deck, I've played versions of mono red in the past, and I've played against it a ton with all my other decks, so I'm going to bring in my spreadsheet here. And this will let me track the wins, but it'll also show us the odds in the matchups as I fill it in here. At least the odds from my experience. Okay, so 3 lands is a little much, but we do have an experimental frenzy, so this can win the long game. Having 0 creatures is pretty rough. I don't think this is a good hand at all. I think we have to send it back. It's just way too slow. You're not looking to win a late game with this deck. Need some creatures. There's some creatures. This is much better. You want your burn and stuff like that to finish the game off. I'm not going to get greedy and leave him. I need the 3rd land for the other one I have. Let's see what we're up against. We are up against question mark. No meta decks actually run these lands. I wonder if it's right to expose the Steam-Kin there. I think it is. The payoff's just too high, like, if he doesn't get shocked. And it's going to be hard to get him out of range of burn spells anyway, so. Didn't kill it, so be the right choice. Let's go with 2 spells just to get our Steam-Kin bigger. Now we can't block the Steam-Kin profitably. I guess it's kind of profitably. So I have to hold one of them back just so he can't block there. Does not care. We gained 3 life off of that and killed a Firebrand. Just fill this into the spreadsheet as question mark, which is what I put for just the off meta decks, so I don't pollute my spreadsheet with insane amounts of decks. Great spot for Chainwhirler. I don't think I want to shrink him to play this. Be exposing ourselves to some sort of AoE. We have lethal anyways. Got the lopsided no spell hand. Makes our Lavarunners a little weak. I don't think he's going to have any AoE, so let's just run these guys out. That's the bad thing about playing against the kind of more random decks is could have anything. I think that's worth cashing in the tokens. Makes us really vulnerable to that AoE I was afraid of, but at least if he cannonades, our pirate lives. Well played, I like it. Alright, we got our first win. It's the question mark deck. Surprisingly, I thought I've played a fair amount of red deck wins, but that's the first time we've actually put it against something I'm calling question mark. Oh, there's a hand. Get the good creature curve, 1 burn spell to back it up. The 3 lands we need to cast them. Stay at 2-1. Stay at 2-1. He didn't stay at 2-1. Looks like we're up against Merfolk. So this Chainwhirler's probably going to find a good home. I think I might just burn that out of the way. The Lightning Strike. I guess with this... interesting. Because this is 3 mana now, but in the future, it might only be 1 mana. I think I'll do this though, because we're quite likely next turn to also just want to burn a blocker out of the way before we can activate the spectacle. Oh, and he's mana screwed. Yeah, let's burn the blocker out of the way. Hit him hard where it hurts. I wonder if it's worth developing this Steam-Kin. I'll have a 2/2 and a 1/1. And then next turn I can play another red spell, so I'll have a 2/2 and a 3/3. So I guess that is more power. Well, these games are certainly going a lot faster than with our Dirtle Gate deck. I have more fun playing Lonely Gates, but... There's the life gain guy, but a little late to the party, isn't he? Okay, so he can block our 3. He'll take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He'll be 1 off dead. But that does mean he has to block and throw away his walker. Creatures came in the wrong order. Although if he played that turn 2, we would have burnt it. It would have died just as easily. So, I don't know what the hell that was. Was it Merfolk? Guess it was probably Sultai. We'll call it Sultai that got mana screwed. Don't have a lot of data there either. I guess I haven't played this deck a lot, so I'm only going to get a lot of data against the decks I play. Like if I put in Esper Control here, probably like 40 or 50 games worth. Yeah, 12 and 22 in favor of Esper. See if we can bring that win rate back up, play it on this side. Okay, what do we got here? A bunch of 1-drops. This is probably fine. Gonna light up the stage. 1 mana draw 2s are always fun to play with. Looks like we're up against white. He didn't have a 1-drop though, so is it White Weenie with a bad draw? It's certainly not White Weenie. Should we light up the stage? No, I'm just going to play the Lavarunner. I could lightning him and then light up the stage, and that'll get 1 more point of damage here. Missed his land drop again. So we're going up against a lot of mana screwed opponents. Kind of unfortunate to hit those, but I mean, getting a Frenzy out is great, so it's fine that we're only going to get to play 1 of the cards off the Spectacle. Guess there's a chance this guy just wins us the game. We got 4, he'll be 5, 6. We need 4 more off the top. That didn't happen. Ooh, a Dovin's Acuity deck. He might be able to recover. We're definitely going with the Frenzy, though. Against what's probably Esper Control. An upkeep stop. Fire this off before we draw it. I found playing the other side of this match, like Dovin's Acuity isn't actually where you want to be in these early turns. It's just far too slow. He's not Esper controlled. They don't run this many basics. They don't run Anticipate. I guess he's question mark. Like Azorius control is not really a thing. Yeah. Just playing with the cards he's got. Bounce is pretty good against Frenzy. And now I don't want to do a 3-mana burn spell, I don't think. We'll just draw it. Kind of punished. Kind of real punished. Definitely should have fired off the Wizard's Lightning. The second Frenzy makes it harder for him to stop our Frenzy chain, but it makes it harder for us to access our spells in hand again. Right, we hit a decent chain that time. Spent all our mana. Hit a land drop. Kind of fun that you can actually cast the light up the stage cards because they're not in your hand. Yep, keep stop again. You got the game-winning lightning strike up with the deck. Get a little mana screwed there, but he also wasn't actually playing a real deck. I wonder if time of day matters here too. I'm playing at 7:56 p.m. So we're looking at the East Coast evening. A lot of people home after work. So I was playing earlier today and it seemed to be a lot more odd meta decks. And now we're getting a decent way into the event and we're still facing the homebrews. Seems fine. It doesn't quite line up perfect, but if we can figure out how to navigate a mirror match. Seems fine blanking here. We'll hope to just Chainwhirler this guy away for free, I think. But we can shock him. Wizard's Lightning the face and then hit him a couple points with this guy. Or we could just Lightning Strike this and hit him for 1. Or we could shock and just develop another Lavarunner. I think I'm gonna go with the shock and Wizard's Lightning. This pushes him the hardest, I think. Takes away our ability to use these to burn creatures out of the way, but like if he drops a Chainwhirler, we still have 2 3 damage burn spells. He's got light up the stage advantage. That's probably pretty bad for us. Can we deny Spectacle? Can I kill both of these? Not without lands. Kind of unfortunate. He denied our Spectacle. That's good. Smart heads-up play from him. Alright, we really want to get our Whirl on now. Punish that rogue inclusion in his deck. That puts us back in the game for sure. Even though he did 2 light up the stages on us, so It's technically a head card advantage-wise. The Chainwhirler just 3 for Wyndham. I think I'll go strike his face, light up the stage. Do that before playing the land, so we can play a land that we might hit off of that. I want to skewer one of these guys. Seems loose. But with a couple 2-1s in her hand, it's kind of really good against us, actually. These guys will knock him to 7. That'll put him to 4 if I go to the face with it. Let's just hold it in our hand. I don't want to waste it on an instigator, but I don't want to... Yeah, I might need to throw it at a bigger threat like this. I'll develop both of these, which they'll either be able to get through, or they'll make him hold his 1/1s back. And then we can either keep pressing face damage and go for the win that way. What's that mean? I think I know block. Triple instigator draw. Can I get a Chainwhirler? Or I guess just like a shock. I cannot. So I think I just have to throw the burn at his face and hope to top deck a burn spell. So I could use both of these to kill the Phoenix, but that does not seem like a winning play. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8. Put us to 1 here. We could block and go to 2, but I don't think that's relevant. He would have Chainwhirlered before combat if he had it. So we'll just take it. If he's got a burn spell, we're in trouble, obviously. But yeah, there's our first loss. So we could have burnt this to be 4 higher, but then we're not making a comeback with anything shy of Chainwhirler off the top. I didn't really get a good read on his hand. I wonder if we could have been tracking to tell that those weren't lands. That was kind of the only way we win, is if they're lands. Red deck wins over here for a loss. The mirror. With the mirror 9 times now. My spreadsheet's not smart enough to differentiate it, so it's always just 50%. This seems like a borderline hand. I'm going to keep it. Lightning Strike's definitely our worst burn spell, I think. Maybe Skewer the Critics. Get the mirror match again. I'm just going to pass and try to Chainwhirler, clear that up. Have a little bit of card advantage in this matchup. 25 minutes into the recording, we're already... What is this, our 5th game? Yeah, this is our 5th game. We're gonna get through a whole event in the time it took to do one game with the Lonely Gates deck. Seems like a lot of people are teching in some mirror match cards. I think I'll just clear his board with Firebrand on this guy and a Lightning Strike on this guy. We'll do this now so he doesn't get Spectacle on his turn. Seems to be another mirror match oriented card. Good blocker that chips away at us. I'm gonna hold the burn. We might want to clear creatures. Sucks to lose our wizard, but oh well. Really like to put one burn spell on this, not two, but too bad of him to let us untap. At 12 points of burn in hand. Maybe it should go face. We're 5 damage shy. We burn this out, we're burying ourselves, but we're inviting a long game basically. I think it's going to be better to burn this guy out. Get the field off the table. We're both still at 17. Okay, he's leaving the Pyromancer on the board. Just took the chump block. Just gonna use the Skewer the Critics on it. So he disagrees with me. He's going burn face. See who ends up coming out ahead in that choice. This is what I want. Now just a shock can kill that. This game might come down to who can draw a Frenzy. He might not even have Frenzy in his deck, though. Now we got 9 burn in hand. We're 6 damage away. Which could just be 3 attacks. Let's burn this. And I'm going to throw this one in his face in case we do draw that Frenzy. Slightly punished for burning the guy. Not sure if I changed gears right there. That's the thing about the burn deck. Like when you want to change gears and start throwing burn at the face. Not sure if I picked the right time. I'm gonna hold that one more turn. Holding that might make him greedy here and he'll keep pointing burn at my face instead of burning away my Chainwhirler. Nope. You shifted gears. You never want to downshift. When you previously pointed burn at face and now you're pointing burn at creatures, you know it's just not going well. Got lethal if he's got nothing, but he might have another burn spell. I guess there's another reason to hold burn back to get a counter on our top deck Steam-Kin. That should do it. Mark up the W. Alright, we're up to 4 wins already. 32 minutes into the video. I definitely have a feeling this is a better way to grind. I might be tempted to go with White Weenie if you had to use wildcards on this deck or the other, but I'm nowhere near having the cards for White Weenie. This is an awkward hand. I'm going to keep it. Obviously, lands will help me play these cards kind of awkwardly in the wrong way. And if we draw not lands, then hopefully they help us play these in the cheap way. We get a mirror yet again. This is not a great hand against the mirror. You're super slow. We'll have to lightning strike this guy to make room for the Steam-Kin. Yeah, we'll lightning strike him. I'm gonna wait in case he puts a better target out. It'd be pretty loose for him to play a Chainwhirler pre-combat, but you never know. It's the first spell for a Lavarunner, so now we can go Lavarunner or Wizard's Lightning to activate him. Ideally, I'd like to have this guy out first. I mean, this guy's just going to get burnt. I mean, 3 mana, he didn't play any creatures, he's got to have burn, so. He had a shock. I guess we would have hoped for it to get Wizard Lightninged or something, a 3 damage one, but it's fine. I would like to find some lands, if I may. He is going to burn my face already. There's a land, that's good. Shock this guy down, get our 2 spell activation. Tempted to burn this base with a discount, but he's still at 20, so I think these are almost certainly going to want to hit creatures. We'll go slow and steady. I think he's got a handful to burn. Shock's a decent draw. Give us our light up the stage. Like to hit a land and a cheap spell. Perfecto. So we'll do this first. Can't see it changing our mind. I guess because it can't change our mind, we shouldn't have done it first, because now he has a little more information on whether he wants to burn this or not. We need to top deck a land to play both of these. Voila. And this is where he looks really silly for firing this Skewer the Critics at her dome. So now he's downshifted again. Now he's burning creatures. But again, this game's going to come down to who can get a frenzy. Yeah, you definitely want to do that right away. Get rid of my wizard. Drawn 3 more lands than him, both good and bad. He might have a frenzy stranded in his hand. But we've got 3 less spells. We're just going to hold these to burn creatures with. Now we have 9, we're only 6 points away. I might want to just throw at least one of these at his face. And the big reason to do that would be to keep myself... If we top deck a frenzy, we want to be able to dump all of the other cards in our hand in one turn, and then have a clear hand to play said frenzy on the following turn. And right now we have 8 mana, so we can't do that. But we fire one of these off, then there's just 5 left. We could take the next step and say if we top deck a frenzy, then we can lightning strike him and then play the frenzy. Have it set up to go off. Now that line of play gets punished by like runner creature. And we runner lands. I think I'm gonna go burn face. We'll hold this one back in case he draws a Chainwhirler. If he draws 2 Chainwhirlers in a row, then we made the wrong choice there. That's pretty crappy. Not gonna burn it yet. I'm gonna see what we draw. We drew bad, so we are gonna burn it. And now we are getting punished for going face early. Because now we're out of steam. And he did draw Runaway Creature. Did draw 1 land since then too. And 2 lands. We made the wrong choice. I think it's right to play lands and not bluff, because if we do top deck a Frenzy, you want to have your land drop available. And all the lands out you can. You might just be dead here. I think mana is not an issue now, so there's no reason to get the wizard off the table. The advantage to waiting is if he plays a haste creature, then we can block the haste creature and tap this guy. And we could also consider blocking and zapping face, but I think that would be wrong. I think we want to get this off the table. We're hoping he's holding lands back to bluff with. But likely it's 4 or 5 points of burn in his hand. Shock to activate Spectacle. This is the light up the stage. Not sure why he pulled the trigger there. We got the Frenzy, but we're at 1. Don't think it's possible to kill him with the mana we have left, but he certainly has to top deck this last turn. Ooh, exciting. Was the Frenzy just in time to tease us? More cards. 3 more cards, rather. Pretty hard for us to win the top 3 cards of his deck. Especially considering he could just go deeper with Risk Factor. Yeah, there's the win. Good game. We got super mana flooded there, but if I didn't spew that burn at his face, I think we would have won this game. So, lesson learned. Gotta be a lot more patient in this match. Burn doesn't go face until you have the win. Fill that in. Loss. So we faced against random deck. What we're calling Sultai mid-range, we don't know. Another random deck, and then 3 red decks. Yeah, seems fine. We've got Chainwhirler. And the lands to play him, plus we get a 1-drop. Our opponent's got a mulligan. Shouldn't have played that land. I'm not going to light up the stage either, though. Because next turn I want a Chainwhirler. Pretty much no matter what. That's pretty annoying. Luckily Chainwhirler will clean up the elf for free. Another Thorn Lieutenant. Worth burning that out of the way? I don't think so. With these light up the stages on deck, I want to just send this guy. I will use this on the creature. Just so the Lavarunners can get in next turn. Mana screwed again. Had a lot of opponents get stuck on 2. That guy out of our way. Start a frenzy next turn. Now or never on the frenzy, so I think it's happening. We can play this afterwards, so... Rare case where you don't play your land before frenzying. There's a land here, we would want to play that. We had a pretty good draw. Him being stuck on 2. We drew 3, light up the stages. Topped it off with a frenzy. Pretty good. Call him Gruul mid-range, although we didn't get to see a whole lot of his deck. More wins to go. One drop, but I think this is keepable. We might be shocking his one drop. Esper does not have one drops. Against Esper, I don't know if you want to shock face this early. It might want to hit a Teferi or activate Spectacle. I think it's fine to just keep it in her hand. There's our one drop late to the party. Get the Steam-Kin out while we can. Or the Absorb's up. So this, in my experience, this is not a good matchup. We are looking at 35% for mono red. And this is not the kind of hand that could actually win the bad matchup. We've run out of lands. We don't have a frenzy. Not even really pressuring him. The Pyromancer here, post-combat. I think 2 creatures is as much as I want to get on the board at a time, though. If he doesn't deal with these, we'll just use some burn at his face, rather than committing more to the board.
You know what? I'm not done yet.
He's too high of life. Like we had such a slow start, we have to kill the fairy.
Hey, that was uncalled for.
The fairy successfully killed, though.
You just let me know if you're up for round 2.
It might have looked like we wasted damage not sending one of these guys face, but he wouldn't have had to counter the shock. They used another Wizard's Lightning, but... Thought Eraser's annoying. Took a Wizard's Lightning, not a Whirler, which Probably means he does have Kaya's Wrath. I think I'll just Lightning Strike him. And we can rebuild with 2 hasty guys after he Wraths. I think if I didn't have a Lightning Strike to use my mana on, I would probably want to gamble he didn't have the Wrath. Kind of worked out for us. We did the right thing. Stuck on 2 lands. We can't even top deck a Frenzy to get out of this. And now we're at the point where he's absorbing our stuff. That's bad. Guess I should have led with the Firebrand. He might have countered that instead. If we draw a land here, we might be able to get a Whirler out and get back into this game. Especially because it's going to occupy his mana here. Like if he's got another cast down or Mortify. Slows him down a little bit. We're getting pretty close to just scooping though. You know he has a cast down, so I think I'm just going to do this. This guarantees finding some damage. We even got the cast down out of his hand. And the Mortify. That was much better than playing the Chainwhirler. Unfortunately, he's got the Conta active, and double M's Insight means he can't draw lands and get screwed that way. Oh, that's probably gonna end the game. We'll stick around and see what he does. I have a feeling he's just gonna gain double X life. Penguin, whatever it's called. The fact that he played the land instead of saving it for Jumpstart almost certainly means he's gaining double X life. I'm not going to scoop. I did hit the 4th land, so... He gains a buttload of life here. We can drop a Frenzy. And he's already gone through 2 Mortifies, so... Resolve Frenzy might actually stick around. He did not gain double X life. Leda Lyra. Also hard to beat. But not impossible to beat. Pretty impossible to beat. I can't let her start doming me, so I've gotta take the 1 for 2. Yeah, that's game now. He's not going to tap out and let us resolve a Frenzy. Now we have to draw something counterworthy and then a Frenzy. Third Chemist's Insight. Mountain is not going to get that absorbed out of his hand. Alright. Unsurprisingly, we lose that. A slow hand ended up being against Esper. No chance. We did profit though. We'll probably do 2 or 3 of these events in the time it takes to do a slow controlling one. We did make 100 gold. And a risk factor. Pretty sure I already had 4. Decent way to build a collection. I don't know, it's not as exciting. I don't expect to get a lot of viewers playing mono red, but part of the format, so I figured I'd get a video up. Good to have it, you know, just in your repertoire to even play the deck, learn its weaknesses and strengths. I think next time I might try an Esper build, Esper video. Let me know down in the comments if you'd like to see Esper, or if there's some other deck you're hankering for. I'm Mr. Page, and I hope you enjoyed this strategy page on Red Deck Wins. See you next time.